Hey everyone, my name is Stream, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make an animated texture pack for Minecraft. Now, the guy that gave me the idea for this video is this guy right here, so that's why I'm doing this video. Also, I have to mention that it will only work with Minecraft version 13W02A or above, or Minecraft version 1.5 or above. Unless you're from the future and the Martians have invaded, in which case I totally caught it, yes! Sorry, I had to point that out. Also, that isn't a village with TNT hooked up to it over there. No, don't be ridiculous. It used to be a village. So to start off the video, I'm just going to give you a quick tutorial on how to make a normal texture pack, because since 13W02A snapshot, all the textures are separate images instead of a few images with all the textures on them. This means the whole previously known folder structure of texture packs has changed, so that's why I'm just going to give you a quick tutorial on it. So what you want to go ahead and do is locate your Minecraft jar file. To do this, what you need to do is go to your start menu and type in %app_data% and then hit enter. And by the way, if you're on a Mac, just pretend like you can follow along, okay? After that, a window should pop up. From here, just double click .minecraft and then double click bin. Next thing to do is to open up the minecraft.jar file. To do this, you need a program like WinRAR or BandyZip. I suggest BandyZip because unlike WinRAR, it's actually free. For me, with BandyZip, all I have to do to open the jar file is right click it and then click preview archive. Once you're in the jar file, make a folder on your desktop and call it whatever you want to call your texture pack. I called mine Jimmy Bob. Now open up the folder, put it to the side and go back to the minecraft.jar window. In this window, control click the folders Achievement, Armor, Art, Environment, Font, GUI, Item, MISC, Mob, Textures, and Title. With those selected, scroll down a little bit until you find the file pack.png. Control click it too, as well as pack.txt and particles.png. With all those files selected, drag them into the newly made texture pack folder. Now in your other window browser that's still in the bin folder, we need to go back one folder before it. To do this, we're going to use a little technique I like to call the back button. That thing right there. Click it now! Now what you want to do is double click the texture pack folder and drag our folder we just made before into it. From here, all you have to do is just use your favorite image editor and edit the images within our texture pack folder. After that, you're done. It should also be worth noting that editing the pack.txt file changes the description of the texture pack, and editing the pack.png image edits the icon. So that's all cool cats and all, but now you want your texture pack to be animated because you think it looks flashy and you think it looks cool. Almost as cool as me. I just made the last part up, no one likes me. So, what I'm going to do to teach you how to do it is, firstly I'm going to show you a texture I made that's animated and explain it. And after that, I'm going to show you how to make your own in Paint. Mind you, it works in any program. Then after that, I'm going to tell you about the config file and what it can do and how it can make your animations better. And then after that, I'm going to show you how to import a movie into Minecraft. So let's get on with the first part, which is explaining the texture I made over here. So this texture here is just a texture of a diamond block which flashes from 1 to 2 to 3 very quickly. Now how this works is basically it's an image that looks like this, because I made it in Minecraft because I have no life, and it looks kind of cool in Minecraft. So what this is it's 3 frames put under each other. So instead of it just being a 16 by 16 image file, it's actually a 16 by 48 image file. So the first 16 by 16 area here is the first frame, the second 16 by 16 area is the second frame, and the third 16 by 16 area is the third frame. I said 16 by 16 a lot, and there's a torch missing over there. So basically, when you're in your image editor, all you have to do is just copy the first 16 by 16 area, paste it under it, edit it a little bit, then paste that under it and edit it a little bit until you have an animation. Now this will also work with any texture pack that isn't 16 by 16, so if you had a 32 by 32, the first frame area would be the first 32 by 32 square, the second one would be the second one would be the second 32 by 32 area, and so on and so on. Same with 64, just replace 32 with 64, and then you have it. Now, this is all cool and all, but is there any actual way to make it go slower, because this is incredibly fast, without the obvious pasting frames over and over again? Well, I'm glad you asked that, theoretically. Because yes, there actually is, and I'm going to show you that at the end of the video. Close to it, at least. Unless you skip ahead, in which case, Photoshop, you did that last time, how do you do that again? Anyway. Okay, so now's the part of the video where I actually animate a texture. And now I'm using Paint because Paint is awesome. Don't underestimate its awesomeness. Even though it's never underestimated. Anyway, what we're going to do, well not what we're going to do, but what I have here is I've got the sand texture, and for some reason I want it to fade to green in 3 frames. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch the image size. As you can see down the bottom there is a little thing that tells me how many pixels I'm moving. So I want it 3 frames, so I'm putting it on 48. Now if you wanted your animation to be something that's different than 3 frames, what you would do is you would take the amount of frames you want, times it by 16, and that's how long your image should be. So say if you wanted 5 frames, what you would do is 16 times 5, which is equal to 80, and that's how long your image should be. And I'm just going to leave the first frame as it is, and copy it by dragging this, and copying and pasting it to the second frame, where now I'm going to get some green, and use my brush. And with my artistic skills, there's a bit of green. Now, I can't remember exactly how big it was. I think that was the size of it. So I'm just going to copy and paste it again. And put it down the bottom. Actually, I was right. Now I'm going to get some more green. I'm going to use a different green this time, just to make it cooler. And there we go. We've done it. So all we have to do now is save it, and that was literally it. It's not hard at all. It's really quite easy, and Paint is awesome. Just have to point that out. So this is our sand texture in Minecraft, and it goes really fast. So to fix that, what we're going to do is we're going to edit the config file. Basically, config files allow us to slow down frames, and they can also allow us to set the order in which the frames play. So this is something without a config file, as you can see, no config file, and this one is something with a config file slowing down all the frames by 10 times. So for our sand texture, we're going to create a config file just for it. So to create a config file for a texture, what you have to do is you have to make a text file and call it the exact same thing as what your texture is called. So the texture we're trying to make a config file for is called sand, so we're just going to name our text file sand. Now I forgot to mention this config file should be in the exact same folder as the texture you're trying to make a config file for. Open up the text file. Now in this file, what you're going to do is you're going to type in the order you want the frames in your image to appear in Minecraft. To do it, type the number of the frame you want to go first, separate with a comma, type the number of the frame you want to go second, separate with a comma, and so forth. I should also mention that the first frame in your texture image is frame 0, and the second one is frame 1, and so forth. So in our example, we want the animation to play forward and then backwards. So to do that, we're going to type in 0, 1, 2, 1, 0. Now that's great and all, but the animation still plays too fast. Lucky for us, in the config file we can change that. Next to every calling of a frame, we can write how much Minecraft should slow the length of the frame by. To do this, we just put an asterisk and the factor of how much Minecraft should slow it down by next to the frame number. So for example, we want our animation to slow down by a factor of 15 when it gets to very green, and slow down by a factor of 8 when it's partially green. To do that, we're going to put an asterisk and an 8 next to the 1s, and an asterisk and 15 next to the 2. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about config files. Now what I'm going to show you is how to import movies, well I shouldn't say movies, more like short clips into Minecraft. To do this, what you're going to need to do is convert your movie clip to a PNG sequence at 10 frames per second and at a resolution of 16 by 16, 32 by 32, 64 by 64, or 128 by 128. Unless you're crazy and you want a really clear picture. There's tons of tutorials out there on how to do this, so I'm not going to cover it. Next, what you need to do is download a program called Sprite Sheet Packer. Link is in the description. Open up the program and set the image padding to 0. Change the width to the width of your PNG sequence plus 1, and change the height to some crazy number like 21474833647. Now click Add Images and add all the images of your PNG sequence. After that, give a directory and a name for your PNG file. Now click Build Sprite Sheet. After it's built, drag the image into your texture pack and rename it to a block that's there. And enjoy! I don't know how to do outros and oh, it's so tempting. But that's been done to death, so we're going to take a different approach. That was fun.